Hi everybody, welcome to Daily Deco. Today's episode is going to be very whaley, to be honest. You'll understand why in a second, because there's a lot to do about whales, all sorts of different types of whales as well. But today's episode of Daily Deco is sponsored by our very own Teespring. I'm wearing Cave Shark, which is a very cool diving t-shirt. Came up by sort of one of our designers, Shaun, or Scene, as you like to call him.
Scene.
Because he spells his name differently to Shaun. But yeah, we actually have a discount code later on in the show, so stay tuned. So as far as Simply Scuba news, a few bits and bobs are starting to arrive. The really interesting one is Shearwater. So Shearwater dive computers are back, as well as a lot of accessories. So if you've been holding out, you've been sort of shopping around for a Shearwater dive computer, definitely head over to simplyscuba.com and search for Shearwater, because they're starting to pop into stock. We also have some Typhoon dry suit bits and bobs. The weather's getting cold. Typhoon, I quite like Typhoon dry suits. They don't have a lot of like flair and kind of flashy bits on them, but they very rarely fail, to the point where they have like a 3-year warranty on their seams. So they're so sort of confident that their seams sort of won't leak that if you do get a leak, then they'll just repair it for free. So
that's cool.
Yeah, they are very, very good.
I'm all sorry, before the first question or the first news story, I'm all about having LED flashing disco lights on my dry suit.
You like the flashy, you like the bells and the whistles.
Well, to be fair, for UK diving, it's like, I'm here. I know you can barely see me, but I'm here.
And that makes a fairly good segue into our first story, which was 2 divers were found lost at sea off the coast of Wales, and so they were off the Pembrokeshire coast, and they got separated from their diving group, basically due to current. Current just kind of whipped them away, and of course, the sort of Coast Guard and everyone was alerted that they had 2 missing divers, and luckily they were found. The sort of lifeboat crew basically said, that they were in a bad place. If we hadn't have found them, then it probably would have had a very negative ending. But no, they were found, they were recovered and whatnot, so everything's kind of fine. But they went on to say, the sort of the lifeboat crews and whatnot, the Coast Guard, basically saying, right, especially now, especially with the pandemic and everything, yes, you can still go scuba diving, but bear in mind that you're using sort of, if something goes wrong, you're using up all these sort of resources that are sort of a little bit thin at the moment, because the medical side of things, they're quite busy at the moment. So if you are going scuba diving, then do it very safely. Sort of plan where you're going. If you're going somewhere that the weather might be a little bit sort of treacherous, then just sort of play it safe. So happy ending, but again, that kind of usual warning of, come on guys, just do it as safe as possible, especially now during a global pandemic.
Definitely.
The next news story comes from BSAC, which is the British Sub-Aqua Group, or club, I should say. They they run a yearly analysis of the previous year's scuba diving incidents. They go through all of the reports and they create this sort of annual report. And 2019's report has finally been released, and in the analysis, they're basically sort of looking over what causes incidents and sort of the effects and where they are and all that kind of stuff. We've put a link down to the full report sort of down in the comments below, so you can read it for yourself. It is quite interesting. It's a little bit morbid, so it's more for like the sort of the professional kind of level divers, because that's kind of what interests us for some strange dark reason. But yeah, they basically said that 2019, the kind of the diving season started a little bit earlier than previous years, and there was an ever so slight kind of increase in diving, and there was a sort of increase in sort of diving incidents, which is proportional, although actual sort of, I think it was just decompression illnesses, or oh no, it was sort of fatalities actually. They were kind of on par with the kind of average over the past 10 years, but it's a little bit lower. The kind of yearly average for the past 10 years has been about 14.1 fatalities a year, but 2019 had 13 fatalities in the UK. So a little bit less, but still kind of on par. And their general conclusion was very much the same as previous years, that age was quite a contributing factor. The average age of sort of incidents was, I think, about 58. And sort of your own sort of physical health was also a very high contributor. So again, just make sure that you're looking after your body. If you feel anything weird, then go see your doctor, get yourself checked out. Yeah, even if you kind of feel fine, it's good to just have a sort of an MOT and just go see your dive doctor, and yeah, get yourself checked out. Make sure your heart is still working properly, and you know, you're diving safely.
Yeah, man. You just got to take care of yourself, haven't you?
That's it. Take care of number one.
Especially if you are an older diver, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are. Obviously, you always get your MOT. You want to be as healthy as possible. But yeah, if you are an older diver, you know, you really do need to. And also, you want to carry on diving. You need to really take care of yourself. Like Mark says, if you're not feeling well, don't go on the dive. Go see a doctor, and you'll be all right. That's it.
Today's episode, as we said earlier, is sponsored by our very own Teespring store. So if you didn't know, Simply Scuba has their very own Teespring store. It will be linked down below in YouTube and everywhere. And yeah, it's basically a very sort of effective and eco-friendly way to create merchandise. So how it basically works is Shaun, myself, and some of the other designers at Simply Scuba, we come up with designs like Cave Shark, and then we upload that design onto the Teespring's website, and then we basically sort of select all the sort of different t-shirts and hoodies and socks and you name it, all sorts of different things that design can go onto. But they don't actually make anything until you click buy. So basically all you need to do is go to the website, search for sort of Teespring, Simply Scuba, and yeah, sort of go through all our designs, and then you can basically choose what type of t-shirt, what color of t-shirt, what size of t-shirt, what design, and then if you like it, you just hit buy, and they then make it and then send it directly to you. And right now we're offering 15% off of your order if you use the discount code Daily Deco. That's all one word in at the checkout phase, and yeah, you can get 15% off of your order, which is just great. And yeah, you get a new scuba diving t-shirt, or yeah, a hoodie, a flag. We got all sorts of different bits and bobs, even sort of face masks now with the modern pandemic. So yeah, use discount code Daily Deco to get 15% off of your order.
Cool. That was beautiful.
I know. I'm quite good at this job.
You are. I think we should keep you on.
All right, go on then. Then the next news story that caught my eye was Wales. Sticking with the Wales theme, but this is actual Wales, not the country of Wales. This is the sort of the watery Wales. So a lot of whales and dolphins and even some seals are actually, they're now classified as highly susceptible to infection from COVID-19. So obviously it's become sort of zoonotic, so it infects both humans and certain animals, which a lot of people have kind of suspected. I know there's a lot of problem up in, is it Denmark, I think, where they have sort of mink farms, and they're having to sort of cull all of them. But actually it's affecting a lot of sort of marine cetaceans and whatnot at the moment, or they believe they're definitely susceptible. So obviously we want to be very, very careful with our sort of interactions with all these whales. And the Daily Mail have sort of broken down a few that are sort of at risk, and they have kind of a different like susceptibility, and they put it against a graph of the endangeredness of each of these species. And there are quite a few sort of vulnerable, sort of endangered and even critically endangered species that are actually quite susceptible to COVID-19. So we do have to be very, very careful. And if we are scuba diving around them, I mean, granted, a lot of them, like sperm whales and Atlantic walrus, I don't tend to see too many of those during my diving. But
there's loads in Kent. What are you talking about?
But yeah, if you're diving off the Farne Islands or whatnot with the sort of seal colonies up there, or off where is it, California, then do be sort of very careful, because we don't want this to become a different type of pandemic and spread it to these marine species as well.
Well, they're saying it's not just divers as well. Or, reading the article, they're saying that there's a possible infection from our own waste. So it's our own waste that we throw into the ocean. That obviously, because we still don't know how long this virus lasts, and also depending on its environment, it could last longer, it could last shorter. So they believe as well that it is potential for these, especially the high risk marine animals, can easily get get the virus from our own waste. So
yeah. Because a lot of people sort of often say, oh, well, as soon as it hits seawater just kills it because of the salinity or whatever. But I don't think I've seen any definitive evidence that, seawater just kills COVID-19.
Yeah.
If there is any evidence, obviously let us know down in the comments below.
And then we can start injecting seawater into us.
Oh. I can't condone that.
Look, don't do that. That's rather naughty.
But yeah, it's just one of those things that the more and more that we learn about this sort of global pandemic, the worse it gets. It's even affecting marine life. But sticking with marine life, and this comes from like the Mediterranean and around sort of southwest sort of Europe, and actually killer whales are getting very bold, and they're actually bumping into a lot of sort of watercraft, and they're seeing a sudden increase in sort of killer whale interactions with boats, especially off the coast of sort of Portugal and Spain. They say they've had at least 40 incidents where these killer whales are just sort of bumping into sort of boats, and a lot of sort of ship owners are getting quite worried. One, because ships aren't really made to sort of touch things. So if you've got 3 tons of killer whale just smacking into the side of your hull, it might be playful or inquisitive or whatever they're trying to do, but a fiberglass hull might just crack, and you don't want to be in the water. People aren't entirely sure why this has suddenly started to sort of occur. It might just be this sort of bored. I mean, the thing is that they're pack hunters, they are predators, and a lot of their sort of their prey species are sort of dwindling. So they're probably just kind of looking for food.
No,
you might find that it's evolution. They're going to start taking over.
They're the apex predator. They're going to grow legs, and then we're all screwed.
Thumbs. That's the only thing we have left.
Thumbs.
No, you never know. It's a lot of the time it could just be sort of too many people on boats. They see orcas in the water, they throw in some food to try and get some pictures and get them closer, and then they start associating boats with food, and then they just get pushy. They're a very intelligent sort of creature, and they're suddenly attacking a lot of boats, and trying to get something out of them, and it's usually food. So
they're basically boats are the piñatas when it comes to killer whales to orcas.
Yeah,
trying to smash them so then they can get some fish.
Yeah, that's it. So who knows?
There you go. That's next year's Halloween costume. You dress up as a killer whale, and then you have a piñata of a boat.
Who knows? I mean, I've been in like small boats with killer whales in the water, and didn't show sort of any kind of interest in us.
It's boring.
That was up in Norway, but yeah, they just seem to be particularly aggressive, and it's one of these things where it's kind of this behaviour that just suddenly spreads across, and it seems to happen everywhere. This kind of idea of if we poke a boat, we might get food. Yeah, who knows? So yeah, if you are sort of boating off the coast of sort of Spain or Portugal, then obviously do be careful.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say there? I thought you were going to go, if you are an orca, can you stop doing that, please?
Yeah, if you could. If there are any orcas watching. Please stop.
They do actually. The analytics, we get quite a lot of orcas. and turtles.
You are worrying a lot of boat and sort of water users. I think, touch wood, as of yet, there hasn't been an incident where an orca has attacked a scuba diver in the water. I don't think that's a big problem, but I don't want it to suddenly become a problem. Yeah.
Stop. That's fake news. Stop spreading stuff. People are going to read into that and be like, hold on.
If there has been, I mean, I haven't researched it in a couple of years, but I remember reading an article, a couple of years ago, and they basically said that, there are some incidents, but there has been 0 incidents of a negative killer whale scuba diver interaction. So,
all I'm going to say is if you do mountain biking or snowboarding, you also don't get eaten by orcas. So what's the safest sport?
Yeah. When was the last time a scuba diver was attacked by a cougar or a mountain lion?
Oh, I'm sure on the liveaboard there's a cougar.
On that note, we're going to swiftly move on. So if you... if there is any evidence, then let us know down in the comments below. If you have any questions, any comments, any queries, anything you would like us to discuss further, then let us know down in the comments below. That will all be addressed on our Friday Q&A, because we do a weekly Q&A. So all of your sort of questions, comments, queries, theories, whatever, we all kind of combine all the interesting ones, and then we put that all into the Friday show. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this for whatever reason, then don't forget to subscribe to the Simply Scuba channel. And if you're looking for some dive equipment, then yes, head over to simplyscuba.com. If you're looking for some scuba diving merch, head over to Teesprings, and don't forget the discount code Daily Deco. That's all one word. That will get you 15% off of your order. Thank you for watching, and safe diving.
Stay classy, scuba divers.